Howdy, it's me, Manic coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the art villa found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And I gotta say that it's not been like brutally hot this summer, but it's been almost brutally hot for a really long time. I've had the house shut up and the air conditioning running for a long time. Long time, that's right, a long time! What are you drinking? Well, just I had a hard root beer and just a half a beer. It seems like I've been drinking more, but it's mostly heat exhaustion. It seems like now is the time I have to paint the house. And there's nothing like being 40 feet off the ground on a ladder, no breeze at about 90 some degrees, just sweating, and then having the damn horsefly. You know, and when they bite you, it's not like it hurts, and you gotta, and so, you know, when you're up on the ladders, you know, there's no thinking, My wife left today, she goes, you know, 100% of the accidents happen on ladders, or a high percentage, or something like that. I mean, I know what I'm doing on a ladder, but no one can stop the housefly, the horsefly. I hate those damn things, and they'll bite you right through your t-shirt, too. So anyway, the first when I turned the camera on, you saw the bag. This bag. Oh. That's my work bag. It's one of those roll behind bags. Okay, it's got wheels on it. It's a Husky. It's the large size. There's two sizes I think. I bought the large size. It's been the best thing. I used to carry some tools in a bag that I had to carry, and that was hard to get all the way from the car to, and then you got a long way to walk here and there. But I thought it would be interesting to share all, and I can never get the zipper closed. Let me just start by saying that. So the tools are always piled out. But I found over the past 8 years, and I've been working 5 years, 6 years, working with this bag. I've developed a set of tools that I think almost everybody needs. It's just for rudimentary, there's all kind of jobs you can do with these tools. It's a rudimentary set of tools. And it dawned on me that, you know, I've been collecting them and figuring out how to put the right kind of tools in this bag to make it as portable as possible for all this time, that there has to be some value in that. And if there's no value, go get a beer yourself and come back and drink it while you watch me go through this thing. Okay. One thing I carry off and on, depending on the job, is the weightlifting belt. Somebody looked at this one day and said, Jesus, how old is that? And I got to remember now that I'm going to get that a lot more. It's the things I know and the things I have. People are like, what the hell? Where'd you get that? The dinosaur ages? That's right. But if you got some issues with your back, and and you're lifting heavy stuff all day long and torquing yourself, don't get one of those little nylon weight belts they make the guys at Home Depot wear. Those things are useless. Get one of these leather weightlifting belts and strap yourself in really tight, and you'll be able to do things and save your back. And even if you hurt your back, you'll still be able to work. I got to clean out this bag anyway, so that's why I'm going to kind of go through all this stuff. Another thing you got to have is hearing protection. Now, this takes up a lot of room, but it's fast rather than the foam plugs, which is like, oh, I don't have any time to get the foam plugs out. I carry those too, the foam plugs, because they're small, but when you need something fast, these are good. They're not good for tight in places, because sometimes you have them on and you're in a tight place and you're hitting your head, and the foam, you got to use the foam plugs. But these are good. So I put those, carrying those for about a year now. Now let's just start with what I have on top are some power tools, and I went and bought a set originally just to get the ratcheting driver. This is a ratcheting driver. If you're going to buy one tool out of all the tools I show you, buy a ratcheting driver. I really like the Makita. I've driven probably taken out literally 30,000 screws with this thing over the years, and I bought a few more batteries. It's a set of tools, by the way. You can, unlike a regular drill, you can put screws in hard materials over your head, and in places you couldn't, get enough torque on ratcheting, meaning it like kind of thumps, ratchets and thumps. Just an excellent tool. But it's not a drill. It's not a drill, although you can buy an attachment for it to put a drill bit in it. Some people, to cut down on the amount of tools they carry, will do that. It's just one speed, and it just has a chuck, like for an air hose almost. All right. Then I got to talk about the extension. Some people don't like to use these, but I find it invaluable. It's a guide. It's a screw guide, an extension with a guide on the end of it. Okay, to help you when you start a screw, you put this down and it keeps the thing screw. People who don't like them are always flopping the screws out and jamming things, and this keeps you from doing that. I highly recommend you buying the screw guide extension thing for your ratcheting driver. Also part of the set, which takes up a lot of space and is pretty heavy, is the drill. Alright, but the drill comes in handy because it has a hammer drill setting, which is just okay. You can't really do real hard materials with the battery operated drill, but if you need to drill pilot holes and stuff like that, you have to have the drill. You have to have a drill. So I got the drill. I also like this Makita because there's a light in it that it turns itself on, turns itself off slowly, just pulling the trigger without actually having the driver in motion, and it leaves itself on for a while before it turns itself off. So it's very handy the way they design it. It's aimed in the right way that Makita designed the light on their products. Unlike Hildy, which I didn't care for at all. Hildy, you had to actually have the thing running. So if you're having it running, you can't really, and you're in the dark. We work in the dark a lot. It seems crazy, but we do. Sometimes really dark, because artifacts like it dark. They don't care about the people, or the older people, who could consider artifacts. Never mind. Go ahead. Wait a minute. There's no way you're going to get to the records. The next tool, out of the 3 tools, there's actually 4, is this heavy, takes up a lot of space, battery operated hand saw with the smaller blade than a normal a handheld circular saw. When I bought this case, I thought, oh, you'll never use this, but yes, I use it all the time. It's really handy to have this saw. For a number of reasons. One of the reasons I like it is because it's a battery saw. You can make the blade, you just don't pull the trigger and it kicks on and it's running at full speed. You can make it run really slow. So you can do things one-handed, really sort of hard to reach cuts on stuff that you would not normally use a handsaw with. And you can start slow, and you're not going to jerk, or it's not as dangerous. And it's you've got it where you need it. You're not going to be able to cut a lot of 2x4s and all that kind of stuff, but it's not really, I think, made for that kind of work. All right, very handy. The last tool that just happened to come with the case, it turns out that it's pretty handy, so I've left it. Although the new ones probably have LEDs and are even better. This is an old set. It's just a flashlight, but boy, it puts out a lot of light with the battery. It can come in really handy when you're working in the dark. Like we have to do. Okay, go on. Now, other tools. Let me say there's a theory that big tools can very likely do things that you would use a smaller tool for, but you can't use a smaller tool to do big things. So I carry this gigantic pair of channel locks, monster pair of channel locks, great for pulling screws, broken screws and nails and crap that you can't get out of wood. You can pull them out. You could do stuff with, you know, plumbing fittings and all kinds of stuff with this. Even though it seems absurdly large, it's extremely handy. Same theory goes with the hammers, all right? This is a 2.5 pound hammer, which is between a regular 16-ounce framing hammer size, which is bigger than your standard hammer, and a 5-pound hammer. But you can hammer, you know, do light hammering, even though it's more difficult. But when you got to smash something, you need a commander. So that's why I carry that. Very handy. All right. I have a selection of gloves. I always carry at least 2 pairs because if you get one pair wet, they're hot, and even, you know, more so than just sweating, you need another pair. Okay. I like the cheaper. I bought expensive gloves, like $30 leather gloves. They're extremely nice, but these $8 gloves with the rubber on one side and the expandable nylon, whatever that is on the other side, they're sort of breathable. They're not going to protect your hands the same way, but they last a long time. So I just go with the cheaper glove. This Speed Square, extremely handy, especially when you're using the handsaw. Use it all the time to line up your cuts with the handsaw, all right? Or to draw a right angle line or something on a piece of wood. Extremely handy to have the Speed Square in your bag. All right. Another set of tools that I've wrestled with variations on over the years are wrenches and or sockets. In this case, this set's been extremely handy. Husky 46-piece stubby set, which means I've got a crescent wrench, the ratcheting driver, and a screw type driver. So it's in almost all instances, you can't get a lot of torque on it, but for most cases, for something heavy and the size to fit into the bag, very handy to have. All right, use the heck out of that. A set of, there they are. I knew I had them. There's the drill bits that go into your ratcheting driver if you just want to use that. So they make that. I carry other this is the magnetic tipped device that goes in the end of your ratcheting driver to hold screws. I found that for like small screws, it's really handy for that sort of thing. Okay. Oh my God, this video is so long. There's so many tools in here. I have a headlamp that goes on my head, a LED headlamp. Very handy, all right. A 3-inch roller. I've just got to really go through this faster. 3-inch roller. I've got screwdrivers, a set of just straight screwdrivers because Phillips, because sometimes you just need regular screwdrivers. And a stubby. There's a stubby down in there somewhere. A stubby, smaller screwdriver. I could even have more than that. Okay, but that's pretty good right there. And then on top of that, I got the floppy hand saw. It's just a little tiny kind of finishing saw, good for just taking care of those little places where your little power saw can't finish. This will clean it up, or something really you got to get behind, or just tiny little things that just irritate you and you don't want to break them and you just want to finish cutting them. The little flat handsaw, flexible handsaw works. This is extremely handy. This is a nail puller, okay, but it cuts nails and pulls nails and cuts things, and you could use it for a variety of things. That's a very good tool. Buy a good quality version of that, all right. And then I have other smaller channel locks because the massive one just won't work. This is also spring-loaded. It's a very handy impulse buy. I think I bought it in an auto parts store. It's got a spring in it. It's just great for doing small things you can't get in anywhere else. Also along those lines, I also have at least 1 or 2 channel locks in the bag. Channel locks, very handy. All right, there you go. I don't think I need this in the bag anymore. This is a cable cutter. Don't think I need that in there, but he's in there now. He's in there now. We'll leave him in there. I'm going to find stuff in here I didn't know I had. Sure will. Why was that in there? A really good pair of needle nose. Alright, this is a Klein tool. A needle nose, very handy. This is a very expensive, good quality set of needle nose. Other big tools you need is a chisel. This chisel will work, chisel a lot of different things. It's just a utility chisel, a Stanley utility chisel, but it's a big heavy piece of metal. And a pry bar. I had this pry bar, which is not big, not small, but usually can pry about anything I need to pry with that, right? That goes in there. Another thing that's really handy, I like to have are wire strippers to do electrical work when you got to do it. A nice pair of Klein tool wire strippers, that goes in here. That's extremely handy. A really small pair of needle nose, because sometimes only small tools will work. That's in there, along with star drivers and hex drivers. Just these kits with the flip out tools. A couple of different styles of those. Extremely handy to have when you need them. All right, in there. Okay, more gloves. I have a set of drivers, because you need square drivers and star drivers and all kinds of extensions for driving lag bolts and stuff like that. Extremely handy to have when you need them. All right, there you go. That's handy to have. Got those in there. Drill bits, a set of drill bits. Important to have a set of drill bits. Nice container, DeWalt drill bits. I have at least 2 tape measures in my bag. Usually 16 footers, just about enough to do any job. I love this store brand Lowe's Cobalt tape measure because the tip on it has wings all the way around, top, bottom, and sides, magnetic. You can catch on to just about anything with it, unlike a different, maybe they're all being made like this now, or they're just a standard one or the old-fashioned one. There's numbers on both sides of this. Extremely handy tape measure. Well made, well designed. I like it a lot. All right. I also carry a paintbrush, all right, sash brush or a cut-in brush. Sometimes old timers refer to it as sash brush, 3-inch. Terrific to have that in your bag there. Actually, I've got, for some reason, 2 of them. I don't need 2, which is why I'm going to the bag to clean out. And something you don't need, but I carry, are Plex bits. They're very expensive drill bits designed just to drill through plexiglass, okay? I do have a need to do that on occasion, so I carry those in here. Oh my God, I have more gloves than I need. Now, okay, really expensive punch tool. A punch tool is basically a thing with a point on the end of it with a spring in it, and you press it against something till the spring loads and releases a trigger, and the little weight in this little thing zooms down and makes the point go into like steel and stuff like that, so then you have a center mark. If you need a center mark to start a drill bit or something in wood or steel, you can do it with this really nice, expensive, spring-loaded punch. All right. Extra screw guides. This is another extremely handy tool. Okay, it's a drill bit with a countersink. Okay, countersinks are. There's also this actually is a drill bit and a screwdriver. This top flops over, but I don't use it that way very often. I just use the countersink. So sometimes you just break the wood if you just drive the screw in. You don't like to do that. All right. And then I have punches. I have a punch to drive finishing nails, which we hardly ever use, but sometimes you do. So you need that. All that goes in that same pouch in here, because you need them when you have to get them. There's that. I'm going to put that back in there. And now there's tools on the outside you say you have a pry bar, but you have a little tiny pry bar too. The little tiny pry bar is highly useful in many instances, as is a putty knife. I carry a putty knife. This is also a very handy tool. You can see it extends. It actually has a screw bit stuck on the end of it. It's because it's made to pick up stuff like screws and nails and crap, so you don't have to bend over, and it's nice to have that. Alright, extra screw bits, got those, carry those, a variety of markers and pencils, utility knife, short stubby, sometimes a short and stubby paintbrush. Extremely handy to get in tight spaces, alright, do a lot of painting. My God, this is just so exciting, I realize that. And more extensions for your ratcheting driver to drive lag bolts and various other bolts. Those are very handy to have, okay. Then there's another pouch in here where you just have like stuff like a little bottle of Aleve because you're in pain all the time, your glass case, and then of course safety glasses. Extremely handy, the safety glasses right there. And then the level, I bought the good quality aluminum level, just a little tiny one, very handy to have. Chip brushes, also handy to have. Is that it? Okay, and there's pencils and just some odds and ends and tape and electrical tape and all that kind of stuff. And I carry this box full of a variety of screws because just you're some places like screw something, like I don't have any damn screws. Screw it yourself, you damn it. And so I don't have to do that, except like when you use your 4-inch screws and you say, hey, give me my 4-inch screws back, because how many times have you seen 4-inch screws? Not very many times. They're out there, but they're obscure. And then they don't give your 4-inch screws back, and you're like, hey, where are my 4-inch screws? And I think, well, I put them over there. Why didn't you get them? I said, I told you to get them back to me. You know who you are. And then you don't get them back, and then you got to harass them for the rest of their natural born days for not getting your damn screws back. Anyway, that's the end of that. I'll probably cut that out. And oh, painter's tape, very handy to have. Got a roll of painter's tape in there with the tape. Can you believe all that stuff is in this bag? It is. Okay, let's go to the records. That's right. Let's go to the records. Oh my God, this is so much fun. The records. Let's start with this record. It just happens to be on top. What's on the bottom? I like to save something good for last. Yeah. Put this in the. Okay, save that for last. It's the Jesus Christ, where'd you get this name? Cider? Crider? C-R-I-D-E-R? It's a nice cover. It's the only record I found at full price, half price books. And I hope it wasn't one that I took in. I hope I'm not buying my own records back. Oh my God, where am I going to put this stuff? All these tools are in the way. Alright, it's the Spot. Beat, beat, beat. The Spot, beat, beat, beat. I think this is Europa. It's, where is it from? Germany? I think that should be fun. May I just say that I've been selling lots and lots of records on eBay. When I buy records, I pay good money for these records and shipping, and the guy that sends them to me wraps them in bubble wrap. One layer of that little thin bubble wrap, puts them in a standard box, 4 or 5 records, and the box takes a couple of hits and the corners get bent. What a cheap jerk. What a jerk. What a jerk. He should know better than that. Also with the box where the bent corner now is Dragon. It's a group called Dragon. What a great cover that is. Group Lost Trays Muscu Aris. Well, anyway, it's a jazz album. Very, very Billy Gas. Billy Gas. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. Robert Maxwell, I got that right. It's a ripe. This must have been in the middle of the records. It wasn't as damaged. It's a great cheesecake cover. Robert Maxwell, jazz flavored harpist. I like his stuff. It's one I didn't have, so now I have this one. It was fun to get a hold of that one. I bought this one for the cover. Lovers in Rome. The music will probably be horrible, but the cover's not horrible. That's why I bought it. Dick Contino. It's the fabulous, I'm So Fabulous Dick Contino and his accordion. It's the magic accordion. Dick Contino, that's right. This is interesting. Kenny Ball, you've probably seen the cover. It's sort of obscure budget jazz, but apparently they made more than one Midnight in Moscow, Jazzmen. Okay, so this is the follow-up, hence the title More. Rockin' with Reed, Jerry Reed. I got this at full price, half price books in the dollar bin, which kind of surprised me. Last week, not today, but last week. All right, there's a great photograph on the back of Jimmy Reed. This is another Italian album on Crown. It's just a great cover. It's just a terrific cover on Crown. L'Amour d'Italien, something like that. I had to apologize. No, you don't. It's your video. You don't have to apologize for anything. Top Tune Time. Bought this for the cover. All right. I don't think I have that one. And I think I've got the set. Was pressed on a number of budget labels with just kind of just stock cover photos, and as I recognize a couple of tunes. All right. Where did I get this? Don't remember. Late Hours Open House, Frank DiFabio and his trio. I have no idea what to expect out of that. On Brunswick, I have no idea. It's interesting. Project 3, Bobby Hackett, A Time for Love. So Bobby Hackett I don't have. It looks kind of groovy. What kind of songs are on this? Funny Valentine. Bought this. This came from half price, full price books. Kind of hard to see. We'll take the jacket off of it. It'll be easier to see. It's still in shrink. Take that off too. Haven't done that in a while. It's Rex Ella. Bought it for the cover on Singcord Records. Jack Van Ampe Crusades. It's Rex Ella. Wow, what a great name. I'll just leave this in this little thing. The Shirelles Sing to Trumpets and Strings. Okay, that's got to be strange. Trumpets and strings on Scepter Records. I can't even imagine the Shirelles. Anyway, I picked it up. Girls Guitars and Gibson, Don Gibson. Not like a Gibson guitar. It could be a Gibson guitar, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't have time to research it right now. Don Gibson, there he is, smoking a cigarette on the cover. He's so cool, smoking a cigarette. And last but not least, in shrink. We'll get rid of that too. Why? Because I don't care for shrink. On Mount Vernon Music, which is a super budget label, but look at this excellent cheesecake cover. Okay, Bobby Richards, Sex, S-E-X, capital S-E-X, Tet, Sextet. Cool variations, interesting titles. Nanette, Snoopy, Narcissus, Sticks and Stones. I have no idea. But the girl with the stuffed toy, the nakedness and the everything going on there was just, I had to have it. All right, so I picked it up. There you go. Might feature something from that. Thanks for sticking into the end of the video and everything, because oh my God, that thing with the tools, that was a lot of talking. Anyway, there you go. These are filthy. I need to clean these. Safety glasses can't be any good if you can't see through them. Oh, my finger! Where is it? It's on the floor. It's right there. I can't see it because my safety glasses were fogged up with the dust and grime and grease and stuff. I couldn't see what I was doing, and now I can't find my finger, which is laying on the ground. Pick it up for me, will you? Tack it in nice. Drive me to the emergency room. I'll get it sewed back on. I'll be good as new in no time.